Sustainable development, as defined by the United Nations, is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. When I read this, I was like, wow, how cool is that? I mean, it's an ideal lifestyle. But if so, then why aren't we quite there yet? How come we learn in school and see on the news that we're practically tearing apart the world and finishing with its resources? So, I did a little bit of research to find out how we can meet this ideal standard of sustainable development, and I came across several different ideas. But the most reoccurring one was the United Nations 17 Goals for Sustainable Development, which covers everything from hunger and poverty to equality and decent lifestyles. I just sat there and thought, wow, this is ambitious, with everything that's happening in the world today and all the battles we're trying to win. But it's funny, something inside me said, we kind of have to do this. I mean, us humans, we have the constant necessity to improve as people. And I think that we should always pursue that, because, or else, what's the point of this concept we call life? So that's when I made up my mind and said, I'm all for sustainable development. How does it work? Tell me more. The first thing people who don't believe in sustainable development might say is, that's simply too much, it's impossible. These people want to turn our world around in 15 years. However, it's not the first time the United Nations set a big goal like this. In 2001, the UN set the Millennium Sustainable Development Goals, where they wanted to halve poverty by 2050, taking 1990's 36% as a base. Well, they definitely achieved their goal, because not only did they meet it, they exceeded it by 6%. Interestingly, China and India were the two countries with the most economical growth and the biggest decrease in poverty. So, a world with sustainable development is possible. You see, we already have our concrete solutions, our game plan. The next step is applying that all over the world. So, something called the Social Progress Index, SPI, has been established to measure our progress on a scale from 0 to 100, where our average in 2015 was 61, and our goal for 2030 is 75. Going back to 2015, where we had a GDP of $14,000 and an SPI of 61, experts calculated that by 2030 we would have a GDP of $23,000 and an SPI of 62.4. What? Only 1.4 increase? Well, that's a little bit disappointing. Why is that? Well, there are several factors. Firstly, we've already used up all the easy ways to make this world a better place, so we're only left with the harder problems to tackle. Secondly, all this new progress and improvement comes with its own problems. For instance, if you reduce poverty, then it's very likely that obesity will increase. On the other hand, GDP simply isn't everything. There are some countries today which are rather poor, but have invested what they do have wisely, making for a better quality of life. Take Costa Rica, for example, and vice versa. For instance, Russia. Some calculations have been made, and they led us to this. Solely based on economic growth, we can take 2015's SPI from 61 to 62.4. Next, by improving underperforming countries, we could take that to 65. Afterwards, if we were to invest wealth into well-being, we would get to 67.2. And finally, by prioritizing human well-being, we would get to 72.7. And that's so close. This just goes to prove that a world with sustainable development is possible. We just need to make some changes. We need to reject business as it is today. We need to demand a different path. We need to choose the world we want to be a part of. I also think that it is extremely unfair for people to complain about the world today, but they don't make any effort to change it. For all those people, this is your chance. This is your opportunity to change the world. I would like to close off by saying this. For me, the most important part about sustainable development is prioritizing human well-being. And I speak from experience. At one point in my life, I got so wrapped up in schoolwork and getting the best grades, I worked all weekend and didn't know what rest was. I practically became my own slave. The worst part is, I didn't even know I was unhappy until things got out of hand. But then, I took a step back. I learned to love myself. I learned to care for myself. I spent more time doing what I love, rather than exhausting myself with schoolwork. And I can't say that I'm perfectly happy today, but I can say that the amount of progress that I've seen in the last few weeks has been exceptional. So join me. Let's embark together on this journey of making a better world, with peace, love, and joy for everybody with sustainable development.